It is my belief that the Eagles have too many people in the front office and coaches that are more worried about keeping their job than what's best for the future of this team. Yo everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat here. So today we have come with the hell is that? It's a big ass dog. Dallas still stinks. Everybody doing? King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a good mother hump day. Hope you guys are doing well. You know, I'm very excited to see Jalen Hurts and what the Eagles do versus the Cardinals. At the same time, there are some things about the Eagles I'm very concerned about, and I want to get into it. But first, I have a few announcements regarding Friday, okay? Coming this Friday, I am going to do something that I did, I think, my first or second year on this channel. Maybe when I had like 500 subscribers, something like that, okay? I did it, haven't done it since. People last year were asking me to bring it back, and that is, I am going to celebrate Festivus for the rest of us. That's right. I mean, look, the week before Christmas, my favorite time of the year. And I'm going to bring back Festivus for the rest of us. And what that means is, basically, every day starting on Friday, I am going to come here and tell you my problem with used people. And when I say used people, I mean the whole world. Anything going on. Doesn't have to be sports related. Something that happens to me during the day. Something that is just getting on my nerves. I'm going to air my grievances to you guys. We're going to start that on Friday. Also, on Friday, I will be revealing my first annual Philly 500 Double Moonwalker shirt. Now, this will be a yearly shirt that comes out once a year. This is going to be Double Moonwalker 2021. And the thing with this shirt is it's going to not just have me on it. It is going to have other YouTubers that I choose to be basically on the cover of my yearly shirt. It's going to be an honor like Madden cover, okay? So I have 3 guys that are on it, and I will be letting them know that they are going to have the great honor of being on the first annual Double Moonwalker Special Edition, first annual, because it's a once a year shirt. And then next year maybe we'll have a few other guys. We'll choose each year. I'll pick a few guys and they will be on the shirt. So I'm going to let those guys know, and then I will reveal this shirt to you come Friday. Cannot wait. I'm excited about it. Shout out to Housecat for helping me with these designs. This is something I wanted to do 2 years ago, but I can't draw for crap. So what are you going to do? But it's coming out Friday. Look for that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this shirt. It's going to be fun. Now, when talking about our Eagles, okay, the first thing I have to say, I have to just remind people, because people seem to forget this or not understand this. Just because I think taking Hurts in the second round was a stupid pick, which it was, does not mean I'm against the kid. I'm rooting against him. Just because I like Carson Wentz and I still believe he could be an MVP type quarterback if he fixes some things, does not mean I root against Jalen Hurts. Why would I root against my team? I want him to do good. I want him to do great. And as far as the pick, hey look, broken clock is right twice a day. If Howie Roseman turns up that this kid becomes a great quarterback, he lucked out. He lucked out. He wasn't some genius picking it. Just make sure you understand that. It was stupidity to take that pick. Now, maybe you'll luck out. Sometimes you get lucky. What can I say? But I gotta remind people, because people seem to forget this, okay? I'm excited to see what this kid could do against the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to bring pressure. I mean, every time I watch that defense, I just like the style. I like the scheme that the Arizona Cardinals run. They come at the quarterback. So he's going to have a tough game. This is a tough game for the Philadelphia Eagles, man. This is a really tough game. And people need to understand, we always have a problem beating Arizona in Arizona. Okay? Last Eagles game I went to was the Eagles in Arizona. It was when we still had Chip Kelly, but I think that was like right before he got fired. But let me tell you something. Okay, this is a tough game. But I think if the Eagles win, if they win, I think the Eagles, I think they could go to the playoffs. I think they could win a division. I do think Washington's going to lose to Seattle this week. Okay, there's that one loss. It's going to happen. Then if we beat Arizona the next week, you know, it's like my Super Bowl. Because next week is Dallas week. Dallas week on the week building up to Christmas. How awesome is that? My favorite time of the year. And if I win, of course, Joe Boo's head is going to go. So it's going to be very, very cool. But we got to focus on Arizona. Tough game. I want to see what Jalen Hurts can do. I really liked it. I thought he brought a spark to the team, and it's good to see. And look, my whole opinion with Jalen Hurts and what you got to do with him is basically let him play the rest of the year. If he plays good, then let him and Carson have an open competition next year. Unless you just want to move on from Carson Wentz, which I have to ask the question. What do people honestly think you can get for Carson Wentz? I want to know, because I really don't know. On the first day of Christmas, YouTube said to me, Mark Holmes number 4 free. So I don't know what you could get, All I know is that a lot of people think, oh, well, because you got Sam Bradford, you got a first for Sam Bradford, you could get a first for Carson Wentz. What you have to remember in that Bradford trade was that came after after a major injury to their quarterback in Minnesota, and Minnesota was trying to win a Super Bowl. They were going all in, and that's why they gave a first. Maybe the best thing if you decide to trade Carson Wentz. And let me say this, I'm not promoting trading Carson Wentz. I would keep both quarterbacks, okay? And I'd have an open competition. But a lot of people are talking about trading them. So let's say you want to trade them. Maybe the best thing to do with Carson is bring him in, go through training camp, have somebody have a major injury, and then maybe you can move him at that point. That would be the only thing I can think. I don't think you would get a first-round pick for him in this offseason. I don't think it's possible. I don't even know if you get a second-round pick for him. You may get a third-round pick, conditional second, if he plays so good or whatever. But, where is he going to go? New England? He's going to be good in New England. Indianapolis? He's probably going to 2 Super Bowls in Indianapolis. It's going to be crazy. But I don't know what you can get for him. But there's a lot of people talking about trading Carson Wentz. And I think we need to hold up. Okay? I like what Jalen Hurts did in the first game. His first start last week. I loved it. I thought he did good. I don't expect him to go through 300, 400 yards. He's a rookie. Whatever you see with Jalen Hurts right now is his starting point. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? That's just the way it is. But you also got to remember, teams never really saw him. They don't have anything on him. Even if he plays good the rest of the year, teams are going to go in the offseason and they're going to look at him. They're going to figure him out, and then they're going to come back at him. So we have to kind of like pump the brakes a little bit on this kid being the next Russell Wilson. All that got a lot of upside. He looks good so far, but we got to see. To me, let's be safe. Let's keep both quarterbacks. Let the best man win. Maybe Carson puts down the donuts. No more Michael Anthony wears the fitness training sessions. And he comes back a little thinner, maybe moves a little better. And then him and Jalen Hurts battle, man. A battle for starting quarterback, to me, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It could make both guys better, okay? And to me, look, I'm realistic. I think the Eagles can make the playoffs if and only if they beat Arizona. I don't think they can win a Super Bowl. Okay, I think maybe they could get out of the first round. I don't believe that they could go on a run and go to the NFC Championship. I just don't think they're that good all around the roster. Okay, so when I look at this team, I'm like, hey, look, let's do the best we can. If we get the playoffs, fun, that'll be great. But I also want this team to start building for the future and start doing things for the future. And that's why it pisses me off so much. Okay, when I see Doug Peterson come have a press conference and tell people that Alshon Jeffrey's getting more reps than Travis Fulgham because he's just better and he's playing better. I don't think Alshon Jeffrey's playing all that great. He made one catch last week, but that was it. That was it. He looks very slow, and I don't see how playing a guy like Alshon Jeffrey or a guy like Jason Peters when he was playing, I don't see how that helps the future of your team at all. I don't think it's worth it. The only reason guys like Peterson would play those guys is because he's afraid he's going to lose his job. He's afraid he's going to lose his job, okay? And I got to tell you, I'm so sick of bringing the same guys back over and over again, okay? The Eagles, they lose Rodney McLeod. They bring back Who they bring? Blake Countess today, back on practice. It's like his third stint with the Eagles. If he comes back the second time and then he still doesn't work, why do you bring him back the third time? Isn't there anybody else we could give a shot to? You know, the only reason I think they do things like that is because they're trying to bring guys with familiar, because they're trying to win this year, because they're concerned about their jobs. Even Howie Roseman. Now I see Louis Riddick, right? A guy who I think would make a great GM. He's already interviewing with other teams. They announced today. I think he's going to interview with at least Detroit. I forget who the other team was, but he's interviewing with teams. He would be a great GM. I like his talent. I like his choices. Now, if I had to choose a new GM, because look, nothing matters. Nothing matters this offseason. Nothing about nothing matters this offseason if you don't replace Howie Roseman as GM. And I'm not saying you have to get rid of him. He could become the limo driver for Jeffrey Lurie. What the hell, I care. Okay? I don't care. Let him cook. Let him make salads for Carson Wentz. Okay? He could be his dietitian. Fat ass Carson needs another salad. You know what I'm saying? Give me the donuts. I can eat them. Because you know why? I don't play for the Eagles. Now, Carson's fat. Forget it. But I think Howie's got to go. If you don't change, if you don't get rid of Howie Roseman, you're going to have the same problems with talent, with signing old guys. Nothing's going to change. We need a talent evaluator. Riddick would be great, but he's going to get interviewed, wind up getting a job somewhere else, most likely. My brother told me this last week, and I think that this is the move to make. Okay, so I'm going to tell you. I heard, and what is said is that Mike Mayock does not have final say with the Raiders. Gruden does. So Gruden has final say. If I'm the Eagles, I go to Mayock and I say, we're going to pay you. We are going to pay you a lot of money, and we are going to give you final say. I like Mike Mayock. I like the guys that he likes, and a lot of times he's right. And if I'm the Eagles, I try to get Mayock from Oakland or from Vegas. Get him the hell away from Nelson Stinkelar. Okay, because Gruden has final say. If you could somehow steal him from the Raiders, that would be a great idea. That would be a great idea and a great move, because apparently Gruden has final say. And, you know, a guy like Mayock is probably at some point going to want to make his own decisions. And he's from the Philly area. I think he would do it. If for the right money, I think you could bring him back. That's what the Eagles need to do. Bring Mike Mayock or Riddick, even somebody that knows talent, so we can rebuild this team. Because I got to tell you, when I see coaches saying, well, Alshon Jeffrey's going to get more reps than Fulgham. To me, you're telling me you don't like Fulgham, but you're also not patient enough to let him develop, to let him work through the struggles. You know, they do the same thing with Jordan Mailata. I mean, Peters was playing over him even though he wasn't playing as good. You got to let the young guys play. They're going to make mistakes. They're not going to be maybe as good as some of the vets. But the only way to get better in the future is to let them play. And when these guys are letting these old guys that they're paying more money play, they're thinking about their jobs. They're thinking about the money. They're not thinking about the future. And I'm sorry, it's not a good strategy. You have to be realistic with this team, where they're at. And they have to, hey, look, try to make the playoffs, do whatever you can. I have no problem with that. But be realistic. Do it with the young guys. Get the young guys to play and develop. That way, over the next few years, you have guys to work with. You have guys that can now be caught who were getting paid a lot of money because these young guys developed and became as good or better than the older versions or older players that you had on the roster. Just my opinion. What do you guys think? Want to know in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Oh yeah, wait, one more thing. Live call-in show. Tomorrow, during the Thursday night football game, we'll be streaming that game and doing a call-in show at the same time. They'll give us 2-3 hours to chill and watch the game. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.